From the Newsroom at news.com.au.
G'day, I'm Andrew Bucklow, and this is the latest from the Newsroom. It's Monday the 10th of May. We'll start in New South Wales, and restrictions in Greater Sydney have been extended for another week. Masks are mandatory on public transport, but not for shoppers in retail stores. Dancing will remain banned, and patrons will need to stay seated while drinking. Now, the restrictions were extended because health officials still don't know how an eastern suburbs man was infected with the virus last week. In other news, the federal government is set to splash the cash on roads to slash commute times in tomorrow's budget. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says the projects worth $10 billion will make roads safer, reduce travel times and support thousands of jobs across the country. The budget will also see the aged care sector given a $10 billion boost over the next 4 years in what has been dubbed a major overhaul of the system. To Brisbane now, and a man has been arrested after ramming a police officer on a motorbike on Sunday morning. Now, the officer stopped to help the Commodore, which appeared to be having engine troubles. The car then drove into the officer on his bike and reversed into it again as the officer scrambled for safety. Queensland Police released video from the incident. Have a listen.
Yeah, my bike's been rammed. 180 Alpha November 9, Gateway Motorway, southbound. Just been rammed.
Geez, that's pretty hectic, wasn't it? To sport now, and in the F1, Lewis Hamilton claimed his 5th successive Spanish Grand Prix last night, winning the race ahead of Red Bull's Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, Aussie Daniel Ricciardo finished 6th. To royal news now, and Prince William and Prince Harry have insisted on giving separate speeches at the unveiling of a statue of Princess Diana. Now, the brothers will reunite in July for the unveiling on what would have been Diana's 60th birthday. Royal insiders said it was hoped they would appear as a united front and deliver a joint statement, but that won't be the case now. And finally, Elon Musk hosted Saturday Night Live over the weekend. The billionaire pointed out that he was the first person with Asperger's to ever host the show. Here's part of his opening monologue.
People are reduced to the dumbest thing they ever did. Like one time I smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast. And now all the time I hear Elon Musk, all he ever does is smoke weed on podcasts. Like I go from podcast to podcast, lighting up joints. It happened once. It's like reducing O.J. Simpson to murderer. That was one time.
It's not too bad, is it? Well, that's it from the Newsroom. We'll have another update in the Arvo.
Your update from news.com.au.